The intellectual root of multiculturalism is cultural relativism, which was first pronounced by the anthropologist Franz Boas. And the basic argument was that one culture cannot judge another culture because a culture can only be judged by its own standards, which sort of translates into all cultures being equal. This may make a lot of sense for ethnographers going out to study in Samoa, but it doesn't work if you're trying to assess the extent to which a culture promotes progress. And when we're talking about cultures, we're also talking about religions, because religions are the principal source of values and attitudes and beliefs. And there's ample evidence that cultures are not equal when it comes to assessing their performance with respect to the goals of the UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which are democratic governance, social justice, and an end to poverty. Voodoo in Haiti produces far less progress than Lutheranism in the Nordic countries. The Cultural Change Institute, which I direct at the Fletcher School at Tufts, is responsible for a study of 117 countries grouped by predominant religion. What we've done is stacked up each country against 10 indicators of economic, political, social progress. And the conclusions that we reach in very broad terms are as following. Protestantism, Judaism, and Confucianism do well. They all share future orientation, control of destiny, work ethic, rigorous ethical code, education, and saving. Catholicism, Islam, Orthodox Christianity do less well. I want to address the question of Latino culture within this context. Language is the conduit of culture, and Spanish, in which I'm fluent, presents some real problems. There is no word for compromise in Spanish. There is no word for dissent in Spanish. There is no word for accountability in Spanish. Moreover, several verb forms use a passive reflexive structure, which makes it very difficult to establish responsibility. For example, you cannot say forget, you cannot say drop, you cannot say break. I broke, I forgot, I dropped. It sort of happened, bearing out the problems of accountability in language and in the culture. Samuel Huntington, in his most recent and last book, Who Are We?, made a very strong case that we are very profoundly influenced by Anglo-Protestant culture. I, for one, am comfortable with the label Anglo-Protestant Jewish agnostic. I have two sons-in-law who are comfortable with the label Irish Catholic Anglo-Protestant agnostic. Sam made the point that had the United States been colonized by Portuguese Catholics rather than Anglo-Protestants, we would today be Brazil. If we had been colonized by French Catholics, we would today be Quebec. Had we been colonized by Spanish Catholics, we would be today Mexico. All of this has got to be viewed in a very powerful context of population demographics change. The Census Bureau and Pew projections for the year 2050 call for as high as 30% of our population being Latino. And unless they acculturate, we're going to be faced with enormous social political problems on the order of Quebec, which many Quebecers would like to dissociate from Canada, or possibly even worse. Unfortunately, the persistent high school dropout rates, among other indicators, suggest that the melting rate, the acculturation rate, is very slow, and the persistence of Spanish language is unprecedented. When I grew up in Brookline, Massachusetts, I never heard, if you want to speak in English, press 1. If you want to speak in Yiddish, press 2.
Well done.